How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was July 20th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match one, it was The Blade versus Ryan Mantell. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, The Blade went over with the Doctor Bomb. Match two, it was Thunder Rosa versus Kylan King. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Perverian Calavera choke. Match three, it was The Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, and Private Party, which are Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, versus the Dark Order, which are 5 and 10, and the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. That was a great match, but the ending to it, The Acclaimed and Private Party went over because Max Caster pinned 5 with the mic drop. Well, before the match, after the Varsity Blondes, the Dark Order, and Private Party came out, The Acclaimed came out, and Max Caster done a rap on the Dark Order and the Varsity Blondes. And after Max Caster done his rap, Anthony Bowens got on the microphone and said, "Austin, the so Anthony Bowens said, "Austin, the Acclaimed have arrived." And but that was cool. And after the match, Anthony Bowens got on the microphone and cut a promo talking about how him and Max Caster, how he made that comment last week on AEW Dark Elevation about Julia Hart in Paris and everything, and talked about how the Varsity Blondes' biggest member was Julia Hart and everything, and talking about that comment they made about her in Paris and everything. And Anthony Bowens was saying, on behalf of me and from the bottom of mine and Max Caster's hearts, we don't give a shit. So the Acclaimed left. Well, Private Party was already gone before the whole promo after the match started, but the Acclaimed left, and while the Dark Order and the Varsity Blondes were still in the ring and everything. That was cool. Match 4, it was Abaddon versus Promise Braxton. That was a squash match. But the ending, well, match 4, it was Abaddon versus Promise Braxton. That was a quick match, but the ending to it, Abaddon went over with the leg hook DDT. Match 5, it was the Bunny versus Big Swole. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Bunny went over with the Schoolgirl. That was match 5, by the way. Match 6, it was Wardlow versus Chad Lennox. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Wardlow went over by referee stoppage because Wardlow executed the Mr. Mayhem to Chad Lennox and knocked Chad Lennox out. And match 7, which was the main event, it was Dustin Rhodes versus Aaron Solo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dustin Rhodes went over with the Bulldog. Now, besides the matches, Dustin Dustin Rhodes cut a promo talking about how he's been in the business for 5 decades and was talking about how Aaron Solo attacks people from behind all the time, and how he joined alliances with joined an alliance with QT Marshall and Nick Camarado in the factory, and talked about how that was a bad decision on his part. And Dustin Rhodes was also talking about how Aaron Solo has stepped into his hometown of Austin, Texas, and how he was going to kick Aaron Solo's ass and everything, which that was cool. And Big Swole cut a promo talking about how Diamante screwed her out of her match against the Bunny. You know, Big Swole was talking about how she don't like nobody taking her money and messing with her winning streak and everything, and talked about how Diamante screwed her out of her match against the Bunny and everything. And Big Swole was talking about how if Diamante wanted her match, they'll do it anywhere, anytime, any place, and everything. Which that was cool. Now, now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between The Blade versus Ryan Mantell. Paul Turner refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Kylan King. Rick Knox refereed the match between The Acclaimed and Private Party versus The Dark Order and the Varsity Blondes. Mike Posey, that was Rick Knox, by the way. Mike Posey refereed the match between Abaddon versus Promise Braxton. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between The Bunny versus Big Swole. That was Aubrey Edwards, by the way. Rick Knox refereed the match between Wardlow versus Chad Lennox, and Paul Turner. And Paul Turner refereed the match between Dustin Rhodes versus Aaron Solo. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now the match card for tonight's special episode of All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, called Fyter Fest Night 2. It's going to be Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's title. Chris Jericho versus Shawn Spears. And the stipulation is Shawn Spears can use a steel chair, but Chris Jericho cannot. Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer in a Texas death match for the IWGP United States title. Frankie Kazarian versus Doc Gallows, and Orange Cassidy versus The Blade. Now the match card for AEW, All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Fyter Fest Night 2, looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And with that being said, but anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was July 20th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.